Hi everyone. While we are waiting for people to get here, I'm just gonna go through my settings a little bit, make sure I have things the way that it's gonna work right. And hopefully people will be joining us soon. Tonight we are doing a Vlogust kickoff and we're gonna be talking about my garden. And Liz is first one here. Hi Liz, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We are just gonna hang out a minute, wait for people to hop on. What have you got going on tonight, Liz? Well, probably not much because it's dark. So what's going on in the garden? What are you harvesting these days? Yeah, because we never get a chance to hang out and just talk, do we? Hey, Ashley, congratulations. I'm really excited for your whole family. So much fun. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Ashley. And Ashley, big congratulations on Farm Alarm reaching 10,000 subs. Do a little dance. I don't dance. That's like, yeah, I got nothing. That's the best I can do. I danced on camera for you. You know that's really exciting. I don't even dance when there's dance challenges. So I will be sure and mention that later when there's more people here than those who are already subscribed to you. So it's a small group tonight so far, just us. So Ashley, I am thinking about doing Vlogust. Actually, I'm not thinking about it. I'm going to do Vlogust. Dance again. Why? It's just you guys. Then everybody will be watching it on the replay. Oh, it looks like somebody just popped in. Hi, who's here? Where are you watching from? How's your weather? Ashley, are you guys getting any rain yet? We're supposed to get rain starting tonight, I think, for the next 3 days. But I think most of it might hit west of us. But we're actually not going to be here. Just tidying up my hair a minute, guys. Because it's supposed to rain, and so it's humid. So who's watching? Hello, where are you watching from? Hello, Tom from Southern Indiana. Hi, welcome. How's your weather up there? We're in pretty cool weather. It's been in the 80s. It's raining in, would you guys be like north central Missouri? I don't know what region you call that. Central Missouri or northern Missouri? I'm not liking what it's doing here either. I feel like I have all sorts of stickouts. I always notice that after I get on live because you know I don't walk around looking at myself all the time. Yeah, so here in southern Missouri, it's supposed to start raining tonight and then rain the next couple days. But we are going to Oklahoma to visit Chris's folks for 4 days. His brother's coming up from Texas, and it's going to be mid to upper 90s there. So hot, basically hot. Hot, but we're going to get to see Leslie. She's joining us. Tom says in Indiana it's fair weather, but we've had plenty of rain and summer, too much. And you guys are central? Well, I'm asking you. I don't know. I don't know. I know we're called Southern Missouri. Hey, Trish is in the house. Hi, Trish. Welcome to my Vlogust kickoff. I'm so excited about it. I'm starting a day early. Hello to everybody. And oh, Chickenlandia is here. Hi, welcome. Hello to you too. Is that a typo or a pun based off your Chickenlandia stuff? I saw you want to name, oh, what is it? Wait, hang on, I'll get it. The butterfly. The butterfly on, Hey, It's a Good Life, and you suggested chicken for the name. That's often. That's awesome. Yeah, that's how chickens say hello. That's where I thought you were going with that. So now remind me if you would, Chickenlandia, if you don't mind telling me your first name, because I kind of like to call people by name if I know it. I try to learn it. I'm okay with the names. And where you're watching from and what your weather's like. Oh, you guys, yeah. I know, I'm still like just creeping along. My subs are going so slow. I'm getting like right now 2 a day. This time last year, I was getting 12 to 15 a day. So for some reason, like, so I don't know if it's the YouTube algorithm stuff that they changed, but it's like, rains got pulled. And I feel like this year, my channel is actually like 10 times better than it was last year at this time. But I do have to remember that it's onward and upward, right? And my videos are getting better, my content is better, and but most importantly, my homestead is getting better. So, you know, the people who will come, president of Chickenlandia. All right, Dahlia. Okay, I remember you saying that before, but I had forgotten. So Ashley, that is super interesting because I go negative every time I upload. So Chris's theory is, sorry you guys about the nose. It's my phone on a music stand, so it's hard to get like a good angle. Chris's theory is that every time you upload, YouTube algorithm goes back and kicks off subscribers who haven't watched your channel in a certain number of videos. So that's his theory. I don't know if it's right, but it makes me feel a little bit better, kind of. That it's not just like people are like, oh, she posted a video, unsubscribe. Oh, and you get a thumbs down instantly. Oh, that's heartbreaking. All right, so sorry guys. I'll use the other hand to scroll back up here. K&A is filming Homestead. I wonder if I have my glasses. I'm gonna grab my glasses so I can read you guys without putting my nose in your face every time. Hopefully I have them. Do you guys want to see my cute new backpack? Doesn't matter. I'm going to show you anyway. That way you're not just looking at a blank wall while I'm digging for my stuff. Oh, my nose. I have a little bit of, what's it called when your face flushes and stuff? And like rosacea, right? But some people have it really bad and they get like almost rashy red. I don't have that, but I do get like heat in my face when I eat certain foods and stuff. So I haven't been diagnosed. I have self-diagnosed because WebMD told me that's what I have. And I mostly control it through food and stuff. But I have a friend, and I had a different pair of reading glasses once upon a time. And I went and visited this church that I hadn't been to, but some friends of ours pastored. And I was sitting there, and this guy, who's like a family friend, he actually grew up in the church that my in-laws pastored. And he married one of my college friends. So very, very close, almost like family. But it was right after we moved to Missouri. And I popped in this church, and he didn't know I was going to be there, and I didn't know he was going to be there. And he was on the row behind me. And I was wearing glasses, which he had never seen me in glasses. And when, you know, the time when they're like, turn around, say hey to everybody, I turn around and I'm like, hey, Philip. And he's like, hey, oh, you know what? He said, at first I didn't recognize you because of your glasses, but then I saw your red nose. And I was like, yep, that's Lorella. And I was like, what? I'm like, I don't like my red nose. He goes, don't worry. If you're ever out of work, you can always get a job guiding Santa's sleigh. I was like, you are a horrible, horrible friend, but I love you. All right. Hey, look at that. Now I can read your comments without doing this. Awesome. But I'll still have to reach up to move stuff because it flies by on the phone. It's so stinking little. All right. So many people in the house. Yes, so the bag. This is the bag. And I love it because it's I was interpreting at a conference where I had to do a lot of walking around and a lot of interpreting on the go. It was like at a big hotel and stuff. And this was like nice enough that I could put it on my back and keep working, but then I could like set it down somewhere when I didn't want to carry it. So let's see who's joined since I was over there digging for my glasses and stuff. Let's see. So I saw a couple of people. Mama Grows in the house. Hey, Kathleen, what's up? All right, K&A said, how's everything with the weather? All right, and thank you for doing all caps. And I thought I saw someone else come in. Oh, Cranky Babushka's in the house. Hi, welcome. Okay, so our weather here is not too bad. Actually, it's in the 80s. It's supposed to start raining for the next couple days, but Chris and I, are going to Oklahoma, where his in-laws live, to visit the cabin. Have you guys all seen the cabin video? And, sorry, I was reading. That was dumb, because I stopped mid-sentence. Uh-oh. Pushing buttons, gonna remove people on accident. I didn't do it, though. I hit cancel. I'll come back and read those in a second. So yes, so the log cabin that my father-in-law built, that's where we're going. And my brother-in-law's family is coming up from Texas, which is why we're going for 4 days. It's going to be very nice, and we have somebody to watch the farm. And that video, actually, when did I post that, guys? That's been a while. Maybe early summer, May or something. Anyway, my father-in-law, who in his 70s moved to Oklahoma, to the farm where he grew up, and he built a log cabin by hand. There's actually a playlist, so if one of my moderators would go on my channel and look at my playlists, it's called Papa's Log Cabin Build or something like that. Papa's Pioneer Log Cabin, something along that line, PAPA. There's a whole playlist from start to beginning, and the very last video we did kind of documentary style, where we sat then Donna and Sharon and said, tell us the story of building the cabin. And the story of the cabin being built is absolutely amazing because of how their community, their church community, their friends, their family came together and made the cabin reality, because they're living on a small retirement income, Social Security. And so just things like this, like my father-in-law would go out, cut down trees, chain them up behind his SUV and pull them and stack them, you know, for building the cabin. And then they'd get a call and somebody would say, hey, you know, I know you're going to need a ridge pole soon for your roof. We just were gifted like 5 telephone poles. Can you use them? And he was like, yeah, I can use them. And just things like that over and over. They would get to a point where they needed something, and it was provided. And it was an amazing story of how God provided for them during this cabin build. And then it's very amazing, and I really try to show how, because my mother-in-law has this very classic, very elegant style in her home, but at the same time it's also very comfortable. So there aren't a lot of people who can marry that really well. She uses everything she has. We eat on her china. Her daily dishes are nice. She always uses cloth napkins, but you'd never feel like she's pretentious or like you have to be careful or you can't put your feet up. It's a very lived-in home, but she just has nice things that she loves, and she buys things. When at one time when they were both working and they had plenty of money, she would buy really nice quality things that would last a long time. And so in this video, the very last one of the playlist, I really tried to show not only their story, but also show how well Chris's dad's very rustic, very country style, like he's got a saw blade that's painted, and he's got, like, you know, farm implements, and right alongside of her candles with gilded, you know, candlesticks, how they marry that so well, and the cabin is just absolutely beautiful. So I would implore you to watch that video if you don't watch any of my others, just for the stories and the cabin. And that's where we get to spend the next 4 days. So we will be doing some updates. I want to say hello to a couple of people, and then I'm going to come back and talk about my father-in-law's fall and give you an update on that. All right, Grace, man, I hate it when I do that. I have to scroll across the screen. Sorry, everybody. Thank you, Liz, for posting those links. I appreciate it. Let's see. So She's Gone Country Farms. Hello, welcome. I'm not sure if you have been here before, but what we like to do, I like to know everybody's first name and where you're watching from, what your weather's like, and just kind of try and get to know everybody by name. And Grace Junction, that's April. Hello, welcome. And she lives just up the road. Not really. She's probably like close to 45 minutes or an hour from me, but not too far. So glad everybody's here tonight. If you were here last week, you heard about my father-in-law's fall off the roof. All right, come on. There we go. Sorry, I'm doing this from my phone, and the chat goes by like this, and then I have to scroll to find the things. So if you want to ask me a question or leave a direct comment for me, make sure it's in all caps. That way I'll be able to notice it. If it's lowercase, I'm gonna just assume that you guys are talking to each other, which is fine. I love, that's one of the best things about lives, is a conversation that viewers get to have with each other that's somewhat different than when we leave comments in the comment section on videos. So when I go on other people's lives, I love talking to everybody in the comments. So please continue to do that. But if it's directed to me, Please all caps it so I will know. My father-in-law, back to that story. That was a weird place to pause. He fell off a roof is where I stopped. And okay, so I'm gonna say, I haven't. My name's Victoria and I'm from West Central Illinois. Welcome. Hello, 1 Acre Under God. Glad you're in the house. Oh, my t-shirt. This is from church because I work with the girls ministry downstairs, and it says, "We are God's handiwork." So all the workers that work with the girls downstairs, we wear same t-shirts, so we're easily identifiable as people who are supposed to be working with young girls because we have to do background check and all that. Okay, so my father-in-law, I want to say 3 weeks ago now, he was working on a shed, and it's that same man who built the cabin, right? So he's mid-70s, and he was working on top of a shed, and he was trying to take off a metal, and it was like not coming loose, and then came loose really fast, and he fell over and landed on his head and shoulder, and he was taken to the emergency room, and then he was airlifted by helicopter from the local small hospital to the city hospital, because although he had no broken bones, no internal injuries, no like brain bleeding or anything that they could find, they found a heart aneurysm. So they took him there thinking he might need surgery or something. He was seen by a cardiologist, and and the cardiologist looked at all the reports, all the tests they had done, and just said, make a follow-up appointment with me. Make a follow-up appointment with me, you're good to go home. So he was able to go home that night, but he was very, very sore. Last week, when I went to get Carter, my younger daughter, who had been working at a camp in Oklahoma, we stayed with them for one evening. He was having a hard time like transitioning from bed to wheelchair, just very sore. I mean, imagine, a 10-foot drop onto your head. It's not good by any means, and especially not when you're older and not like 4 years old. You know what I mean? I mean, that would hurt any of us, but especially someone who's older. And he was very sore, very stiff, still needing help to be like sit up in bed, still needing help to dress himself. Now, yesterday, he was able to get himself up, dress himself, go outside for a little bit, and drive his car a little bit on the property. So he is making incredible progress. So thank you all who have been thinking of him and praying for him. And I'll see if they'll let me do some video this weekend. All right, so I think that is a lot of catching up that I've done. I will also see Leslie. She's going to come down from her internship and spend the 4 days with us at the cabin. Carter won't. Carter is in Florida with her church youth band at a thing going on there. Leanne Shand is here from Maine, 80 degrees and humid. Rain and hail. It's always weird to me how it can hail and be like 90 outside. It's so strange. I guess it's not that warm where the hail is forming. Be safe. So let's see, what did I want to talk about? Okay, so Vlogust. So if you're not familiar, Vlogust is vlogging every day in August, and I'm gonna do that, guys. I'm so committed to it. I'm starting tonight. I'm gonna count tonight as kicking off Vlogust a day early. So really gonna work on getting some videos out every single day for the month of August, because I'm not busy enough in my schedule as it is. I don't know why, because I really want to. I'm gonna try it. So I'm gonna commit to it for 1 month, right? You can do anything for a month, can't you? I don't know. We will see. We will see. So I'm really excited about it. So I would like you guys to please watch and spread the word, and if you would, share my videos, the ones that you think are particularly interesting or funny or good or whatever. I will try to get Chris to do some, maybe. Everybody likes when Chris is in the videos. Yes, I always say that I will sleep when I'm dead. That's when I'll sleep, because right now I work almost full-time, and I YouTube, and then farming almost full-time, and then the volunteer hours at the church, and it kind of all runs together. But It's okay. There's so much exciting things happening on the farm right now, though, that I think it's actually the best month to do it, because I have bunnies, I've got all sorts of birds on the farm. We've got the new kitten, we've got our blackberries, which they're probably all done by now. But I've got trees that I can do stuff with, and my garden is amazing. I'm so excited about my garden this year. All right, let's see. My dad used to say, sleep when you're dead and talk when you're in jail, because you have nothing else to do but sit and talk. That's probably what that means. It makes sense. But probably, maybe it sounds better in Spanish. I don't know. I don't speak a lot of Spanish. Un poquito. Yeah, actually, that's what I was saying. I haven't checked my berries in a couple days, but I might be able to. So I'm so excited because of my corn. My beautiful corn. It's so exciting. So last week, somebody, one of you, I don't remember who it was, said, because I was talking about the corn earworm, and I remember Mom H said, so April's asking, yes, I did. I went and did a lot of research because somebody said mineral oil. So I did a lot of YouTube looking, and I found a video, and I actually am gonna make a video on it. But I will tell you here, because you are my special friends who come every Wednesday night and know me the best. And so you get to know the stuff that other people don't. So you get mineral oil and a plastic syringe, and you can do 1 cc, which is 1 ml. So whichever it says, mine was measured in ml. So I looked it up to make sure the conversion is the same, and it is. I thought it was, but I don't know why I knew that. Sometimes because I interpret, I know things that I don't know why I know them, and then I'm not sure that I'm always right. I second guess myself because I interpret a lot of medical appointments, and they measure in cc's and stuff a lot of times in medical situations. So that's probably why I knew that. I've interpreted some, like CNA, which is certified nursing assistant or something like that. Like a 6-week course, so I learned a little bit about a lot of nursing terminology, and I also interpreted for a 6-week truck driving school, like the big rigs, the lorries, I think they call them in England. So I have this fantasy that if the apocalypse comes and I need to steal a big rig, that I could actually drive one. Although I never sat behind the wheel, I sat in the back seat and I interpreted for the instructor and the guy. But I can maybe do some of the inspection they have to do. Anyway, that's beside the point. So I planted sweet corn, and I got the sweet corn from Morgan County Seeds, which is up near where Farm Alarm is. And well, Liz says, what kind of mineral oil? It might be a lost in translation thing, because it's in the pharmacy department of our store, and it's by the laxatives, and it's in a little bottle, and it's labeled mineral oil. That's it. There's no other thing. So I will look at the ingredients later when I get home and send it to you. So what you do is you get like 1 cc of the mineral oil, and then you put it in so the silks are all coming out of this like hole, right, on the ear of corn. Silks are coming out, and you put the syringe like right. I'm sorry, that's not a very nice sign in sign language. You find the little hole where the corn is at the top, and you put the syringe right in that, where you can feel the little dip in it, and then you squeeze it, and then you rub the mineral oil around in the silks. So what that does, yeah, Mama Grows, we might talk about that later, not right now. Sorry, totally lost my train of thought because of that. I like saw myself doing that in the image and was like, no, that's not right. What that does is the moth, there's a moth. So the corn earworm is the larval state of a moth. So it's the worm state. And the moth comes and lays its eggs in the silks, and then the worm is hatched and then crawls down into the ear of corn, and then as it grows it just like eats its way down the corn and destroys your corn cob basically. So the mineral oil in the silks will actually smother the eggs or the larval state, and that's how it works. It doesn't poison them, it just smothers them. So it's the least chemical, I guess, way of doing it. Something else you can do is you can do BT, because BT, which has a really long name, which is like BACC something TH something. It's like it's a bacteria that attacks the worms and like eats it. All right, so I saw somebody very special was watching, and I want to scroll back up and see. Let's see. Henry, I thought Henry was in the house. Here we go, fist bump, boy. Wait, the camera's over here. There we go. Henry's like the best fist bump ever. All right. Yeah, Arrow Ridge. So is this Jesse or Jeremiah watching? But hi, welcome. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I know what my escape plan is. I got it. I'm on it. So Cranky Babushka is growing blue jade corn, the small corn you can grow in pots. Nice, nice. That sounds really pretty. Let's see. So that's what I'm going to do for that. And I made a video of it this morning, but it will actually come out in one of my Vlogust videos, because just in case I have a day. Hey, Jesse, welcome. Just in case I have a day that where I can't do the same day vlog, then I have a couple of videos and I'll use those. All right. So let's see. Also, I don't know if you are following me on Instagram yet. My Instagram is at Lorella Cruz, LORELLACREWS. I actually used to have the Not a Farm Girl on Instagram. Like my Instagram name was Not a Farm Girl, but then we named our farm, and I thought that for like farming purposes, if we sold at farmers market or something, we'd use our farm name and not my channel name. And so I gave up the Not a Farm Girl thing on Instagram, which was dumb, because now I'm really known as Not a Farm Girl, and so somebody else has Not a Farm Girl. So I don't get to do that, but I use that hashtag all the time in my thing. She's probably sick of it. She's looking for her own things, and mine comes up. So at Lorella Cruz. And if you follow me on Instagram, you get to see stuff before the videos come out, because I can share little snippets, usually just pictures. And thank you, Liz. You're on it. She's on it, folks. And it is like close to midnight where she's at. So that's a true friend right there, who stays up to midnight to watch your live videos. So today I took a picture of the purple teepee beans. So I planted a Three Sisters garden, and I used corn, squash, and I can't even think. You guys are more fun than what I'm saying. It's like I'm watching the comments and I get distracted. Corn, squash, and beans, and I planted two kinds of beans. Let's try this in English. I planted two types of beans. I planted some beans that Lisa from Two Wild Onions Homestead sent me, and they are called Rosetta's beans because they were given to her by an Amish family they were beans that their grandmother had planted and then passed down, and they didn't know the real name, but grandma's name was Rosetta, so they're called Rosetta's beans, and they're doing fabulous. And then I planted the purple teepee beans, which are actually a bush bean, not a pole bean, but they're what I had, and I just thought I want to see what they look like. And the little blossoms are absolutely beautiful, and there's a picture on my Instagram, so if you hop over there at some point you can see it. I'm trying to up my Insta game a little bit. I'm trying to take prettier pictures, and I've been working on that for mostly the summer, and trying to be more consistent on there, but not always. But at least you get to see stuff that you don't always get to see otherwise. All right, let's see what we're talking about and if there's anything I need to talk about. I do owe you, Liz. I do. Let's see. Hey, Doodlebugs Critters in the house. Hello. Welcome. Glad you're here. Ah, Henry just bumped me back. Thank you. Trish, you are all special, and you are all my favorite. But, you know, Henry's just a little extra special because he's Henry. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't love Henry? Yeah. Yeah, April says bush beans kill her back. And last year, I decided I wasn't going to plant bush beans anymore. I was only going to do climbing beans because of that. And then I found this packet of beans in my, like, I cannot believe how many packets of seeds I still have. I also planted another kind of bean that were Kentucky Wonder, which are supposed to be like your very classic cut green bean that you would can or cook, you know, in the pod. And but the packet was from 2015, so I didn't really know. I planted extra. None came up. That's it. None came up at all. And I have room. I could plant some more beans, but I just haven't got in there to do it. Let's see. Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining. It's okay that you're late. Have fun at VBS. Sounds like you're enjoying the summer. Pool, VBS. It's a teacher's life. And K&A's Family Homestead says beans are pretty easy to grow. I think so. This is only my second or third year growing beans. Last year I did a bush variety. I think once when I had my garden up at my mom's house, before our house was built and we had our garden down there, I grew some beans there. I think for me, the hardest part about beans for me is two things. Finding a variety that's tender, because I want, like, you know, traditional green bean, but I also want really pretty color. So last year I did tongues of fire beans, and they weren't very tender. They were kind of tough, and I had to basically cook them to death to make them edible and salt them a lot. So finding the right variety makes a big difference, and then picking them before they're too long. And each variety, the too long number, like the measurement, will depend on the variety. So, but typically, as Cranky Babushka is saying, you have to pick beans very soon when tender, because otherwise they get kind of stringy and tough. So for me, that's the biggest thing. I haven't had an issue with pests on beans in my area where we live, really. I had like a mice take a bite out of a couple of them, and they would always like bite right in the middle. I don't know why that is. Why don't they start at one end and eat up? Why do they bite right in the middle? So I would find a couple mice or mole or vole bites out of it. But other than that, they're pretty good. I haven't done any like beans for drying, and I know there's like a bunch of different names. There's like, and I see April said to pick every other day, and Liz says that's the way to do it. So there you go. There's a couple tips for you. Like there's snap beans, and then there's like string beans that you pull the string out of, and there's drying kinds. And I don't really know all the differences and the ins and outs of them. And I think you could probably look at Danny and Wanda. I think they probably have stuff on beans. Deep South Homestead. They have some good stuff. And my gardener might have some stuff. Liz, have you got anybody who's on here have a bean growing video that you could put a link to? I would be happy to share your video in this live chat. If you do, if you've got one, my mods will put those up. All right, so let's see. Um, somebody's asking about people growing peas. I would like to, sorry, I should use the other hand so it doesn't cover my face. Japanese beetles killed your beans. Oh, that's too bad. That's sad when that happens. I have the Japanese beetle trap. So you guys, you've probably seen it. They're like plastic and it has Velcro at the bottom, right? And then you pop the top out and it tracks them and puts, and they go in it. And it has an attractant, a scent. And somebody told me that that Kevin from Living Traditions Homestead showed you cut the bottom off so it doesn't Velcro, and then you put a bucket of water underneath, and where the bag is like hanging just inside, like just right above the water, and then the beetles fall into the water, and then you don't have to unzip it or unvelcro it and dump the beetles out because they get really nasty and mushy in there. So that the water. So I've been doing that, and that has worked wonderfully because they were all over my peach trees, and my peach trees are so young. I was really trying to avoid that. So the bucket of water thing, and I actually have, so my house sits like here, let's say, right? Then my garden is over here at this end of it, and my peach trees are all right here. So I put the bucket up the hill from the peach trees, but also in line of sight to the garden. So it's like probably about 100 feet from the garden and 50 feet from the peach trees. And it has been amazing because I've had no Japanese beetle pressure in my garden or on my peach trees at all. And I only had to have one bag. So I'm really excited about that. April, if I see one at my feed store where I got it, I'll pick one up for you. All right, I see some other people have joined in. We've got Becky from Kansas City watching, and we have Noah's Ark is here. Hello. Oh, hey, I say if your daughter-in-law has stuff growing through the fence from her neighbors, then she gets to pick it and eat it, right? I think that's like common law produce, right? If it falls on your side of the fence. Thank you, Liz, for posting your bean videos. So there's some help for you guys. And J-Dogs is in the house. Hello, thanks for joining. So glad you're here. Bye, Ashley. You're probably already gone. So you say Ideal Market are very round and not stringy. So is Ideal Market the variety name, or are you saying the Ideal Market beans are? I think you might be like suggesting a variety. Oh, and Rebecca joined? I see someone saying hi to you, but I didn't see your thing. And there you are. There you are. Hi. See what you say. How did I miss it? Must be up here somewhere. I must not have gone back far enough. I don't know. I don't know what you said. I can't find it. All right. Oh, there you are. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, so yes, so about that. So I go live every Wednesday at 5:15 Central, which would be 3:15 Pacific, 4:15 Mountain, 5:15 here, 6:15 East Coast. And on Wednesdays. And then, so some people have joined in since I said it. We are kicking off Vlogust tonight, a day early. I'm going to vlog every day in August. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. So you might get to see a lot more of my life than what you normally see. Things other than I can't even think. Than, you know, the garden. The garden and the rabbits are mostly all I've been putting up lately. So there might be a few, you know, I do other things besides that. I also go grocery shopping and I go to work and stuff like that. Ooh, what gets maggoty fast? What are we talking about? Yes. All right, what else? What else? Anything else? Here we go. I have 3 traps and they get full every few days. They work though. Yeah, they do work. The one thing that I've heard about the Japanese beetle traps though too is that you want to make sure that they're not too near your garden. Otherwise, you might be attracting beetles from that wouldn't normally find your garden to your garden from outside areas. So they need to be like, I want to say 30 or 50 feet away from your garden. So you're attracting the bugs away from it. So you might already know that. Just a tip to throw out there. So what else have I got in the garden? Oh, you know what else I have in the garden? I have my first little itty bitty little butternut squash. It's so cute and it's exactly the shape of a butternut squash. And I swear, guys, it's like the size of my thumb. It's this tiny little thing. It's actually absolutely adorable. I also have my very first tomato, and it is about the size of a marble. It's a tiny little itty bitty thing. But I did start my garden super late. Because I didn't plant in spring. I planted in midsummer. I planted I planted like right at the end of May. So right at the beginning of summer, my three sisters garden, and then I just have a couple other things in there. Hi, Diana, welcome. And I also saw somebody else popped in. Kathy, hi, Kathy, welcome. So glad you're here. Yeah, there has been so much rain. Lots of people have been flooded. I don't think we got hit as hard as you are, though. And that is going to She's Gone Country Farms. We didn't get flooded, but we have had rain. I've only had to water my garden once or twice. Maybe that might be a little bit of exaggeration, maybe 4 or 5 times, but seriously, almost nothing. And last year was a drought year. So it's been very nice. And also, I don't know if you guys remember Liz from Ozark Permaculture Gardens. I had to pause because her channel name used to be Little Farm Big Dreams, and she used to be in Arizona, and now she's in Missouri. So she's in the Ozarks. She came up for a day, Memorial Day. She spent Memorial Day. She spent her holiday at my house in blazing heat. I mean, it was incredibly hot. Hauling loads of wood chips and putting down feed bags and weed eating and putting up a fence, and helped me get my garden in. It was absolutely amazing. We ran out of feed bags about 2/3 of the way through my garden, right? So we had about 2/3 of the garden that had feed bags down, paper feed bags down, and then we did wood chips on about half of that. We had some straw bales on about half of that, and then the back third of my garden didn't have any paper bags. It just had wood chips. And where there were no paper bags, I don't know, 2.5, 3 feet high. So yesterday I went back in because I have a new collection of feed bags. And yesterday afternoon, it was so hot out there again. But I got to work when I got to work, when I'm not at like my job. So I have to work in the garden when I have time. And so I went in there. It was like 5 in the afternoon, but it felt like, I don't know how hot it was. It was in the 90s, I think. And I'm like stomping down. I didn't get the weed eater out, but I pulled up all the weeds that came up easily, and then I like stomped down the rest of them flat, and I put the feed bags on top, and then I put a bunch of hay on top of them. So hopefully that'll smother it a little bit. But other than that, I haven't had too much weed pressure. So I'm really digging the feed bags and wood chips and all that. The one downside with this method, especially where I live, is that you have to keep doing a really deep mulch, because if you don't, those weeds are going to come right back up. Things here in Missouri, weeds especially, grow fast, especially during rainy years, and they get really tall. I'm talking like on me, I'm 5'4", and they get waist high to me like in no time at all. So I really like the Back to Eden-ish method, or the Ruth Stout method, or whatever. But you can't do just like, a little bit of wood chips here. Here it's got to be like 8 to 12 inches. And then you have to come back and, because that'll compress and decompose and whatever, and keep it. You've got to keep a good thick top cover on it in order to do it that way. But because I have a free source of wood chips, and it just cost me my labor of moving it from the pile to the spot where I want it. For now, that's the method I'm going with. Kevin and Sarah have decided for them that they needed to go to the black ground cover, and I think really either is nice, you know, I mean, either way will work, but I have the answer to that question. So hold the thought about the black ground cover. Liz, who helped me, her channel name is Ozark Permaculture Gardens. That's who she's asking you to post the link to. And Howie, thank you for joining us tonight. So here's the thing, because I was actually at the farmer's market. I have a viewer that is thinking about moving to our area, and she's been driving around and visiting Arkansas and Missouri, and we've been conversing over email about, you know, the area and what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and this kind of thing. And so I invited her to come to, oh, you gotta go back to work, Jerry? No, that's Luke. Bye, Jerry. Thanks for stopping by. I invited her to come to the farmer's market, and we stopped by Kevin and Sarah's booth, and we were talking about, because they made the change from doing a deep mulch, they changed over to using the black ground cover, which you guys have probably seen. And we were talking about that, and I said, you know, one of the big differences is I have like a 25 by 30 foot garden, right? And they've got huge gardens that they're bringing to market. So for them, it makes much more sense to invest in ground cover once and done, and then they can put their time effort into harvesting, planting, harvesting, growing, and that stuff. As opposed to me, I have a small garden and I don't have the funds to invest in the ground cover. For me, I'm providing food for my family and I just sell the excess. So it makes more sense for me to use the wood chips that I have a free resource and just keep piling them on and using my weed eater and like right now. So right now, if you guys think about my garden, I have the pallet fencing, right? But it's smaller than what I intend for my whole garden to be. And at one end of my pallet fencing, I have a trellis. And that was part of last year's garden. And then beyond that is another trellis. And they're probably about, I'm not great at eyeballing measurements, but I'm gonna say 15 feet apart, right? 15 feet apart. So in that area where I didn't plant anything this year and we didn't put wood chips down yet, I have black plastic and I put it on there the day that she was there, so May, and I just have black plastic being held down by pallets just so that the sun will warm up the ground, stuff will grow underneath it, and it'll die off because it won't have what it needs to grow. Where that is, the soil under there is bare, but I guarantee you if I take that up and I don't deep mulch and I don't plant something, I will have weeds in Missouri less than a week. Less than a week would have weeds coming up. And if I just left it that way, by next year it would be pasture. It would be pasture or a weed patch because the grass and the weeds grow so prolifically here that you have to do stuff. Yeah, Arrow Ridge. So that's a good conversation to have. You know, and I think it depends on your size and your time. Liz says she grows strawberries as ground cover. I think that's really interesting. Another thing that I've heard of that you can use as ground cover is thyme. Thyme. Has anybody had an experience growing thyme? And I've heard you can walk on it. April, I would love that. Thank you. Yes. I would love to come over. Let's see. So what else is going on? Yeah, I really love Liz at Ozark Permaculture Gardens too. She has really been a good friend to me. We've been watching each other's channels and doing and talking for like 3 years probably, but when she moved to, she's actually in Arkansas, but she's still in the Ozarks. So the Ozarks kind of run through Arkansas and Missouri and maybe into a little bit of Oklahoma, but I'm not sure. And she's in the lower part. She's like at the beginning of the Ozarks on the other side, and I'm at the I'm on the other end of the Ozarks. Sometimes I don't speak English. It's amazing that that's part of my actual job that I get paid to do. But I am trying to cover up more and more area where I want to grow stuff so that when I do grow it, it will have, I will have a easier time. So I will not pull that plastic up until I have feed bags or cardboard or something and stuff ready to go on top of it. All right, 1 acre under God. Does anybody know when to harvest Choctaw squash? I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Kathy says her feed is buffering. Is anyone else having issues? On my end, everything looks great. And somebody says, yes, the Ozarks do go into a little bit of Oklahoma. Goodbye, K&A's Family Homestead. Thank you for stopping in tonight. So if anybody knows about Choctaw squash, let her know. I know, I'm trying to think how you know with other types of squash. I don't know. I don't even know what kind those are. All right, so nobody else is buffering, so it might just be your signal where you are if you're experiencing that. Becky is and Kathy is. Well, I don't know. Sorry, guys. Let's see, what else have I got growing? So I've got my tomatoes. I have some watermelon flowers. I have some pumpkin flowers. Oh, it's like it's really like a jungle walking through there. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm very disappointed that my other kinds of squash and my pumpkin didn't come up. But on the one hand, I'm kind of glad because I don't know where I'm gonna walk. Like the pumpkin and the squash are so spreading, taking over everything in the Three Sisters garden that it's gonna, like today even I was trying to work my way around to do the mineral oil. I'm doing the syringe thing. The mineral oil and all the ears of the corn, and I was like having a hard time finding a place to step without like stepping on leaves. My lemon balm never came back, but my basil, sorry, I'll say it this way for Liz. Is it basil? Basil, I think basil. My basil looks lovely. I did prune it, though it was getting kind of leggy and starting to flower, so I pruned it back quite a bit. So it should be bushing out. We got that. I haven't pulled at the potatoes yet. What else do I have? I guess that's about it. You call it basil. I call it basil. And Liz corrects me because it's not supposed to be pronounced that way, apparently, in England. It's just one of those differences between our two countries. Actually, it's pretty funny because Liz and I, most percent of the time, we understand each other just fine, even though there's different pronunciations and different words are used for things. But the other day she was talking to me and she was telling me about somebody's data running out on their phone, but she didn't use the word data. What did you call it? I forget what you called it. Digital, what did you call it? She called it something else, and when she was talking to me, and she had left me a message, and I had to replay it like 4 times before I figured out, oh, data allowance. Oh, is that what you said? Huh. Because we call it data too. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess I just didn't hear it right. But I was like, I had to listen to it like 3 times and go like, they're running out of what? They're running, oh yeah, that makes sense. And I finally figured it out. All right. Good night, Howie. Thank you for stopping by. I always appreciate it when you're in the live stream. Because you said it fast, that might be why. It sounded like all one word to me. I was like, Her what? Let's see. Have you done, One Anchor Under God, have you done a YouTube search to see if anybody else has done a video on it already? That's the way I find things a lot of times. A lot of times. Good night, She's Gone Country Farms. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it. And be sure and check out Vlogust. Vlogging every day in August. I can do this. I can do this. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about it, actually. I'm being kind of silly, but I am really excited about it. If you ever want to see the silly side of me, I need to stay up till like 11 and then do a live stream. Huh, Kathleen, if you're still on? One time I sent Kathleen a Marco Polo when I was driving home very late at night, and I get kind of loopy when I get tired and I get silly. Wow, we are at 55 minutes already. Incredible live stream, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. It's so much fun. I really feel like you guys know me better. Those of you who come in regularly know me a lot better than people who watch my videos, the other ones that are edited, because this is unedited and I talk about a lot of other things that I don't always talk about in my videos. And I get to have more interaction back and forth with you, and I really enjoy that. It's a lot of fun getting to know you as well. So I think it looks like people are starting to pop off, and we pretty much have covered everything. So with this, unless anybody has any last burning questions, I'm always happy to answer something or give you advice. If you want to ask me, we haven't done a live life advice in a while. We should do that maybe next week. We'll see. Those are fun. Very interesting. Becky likes when I have guests. I do too, but I haven't had guests in a while. I'll see if I can round some up maybe for August. That would be fun to have guests in my lives. My daughters are gone, and so they won't be in many videos because college calls. But Garrett is still around, so we can have him back maybe in August. All right, well, it looks like everybody's kind of starting to leave, so thank you so much for watching. Have a great night, and I'll be back with a video tomorrow. Won't be live, but it'll be a video. Oh, Pomona Ponderosa, hi, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I will stay on another minute and get to know you a little bit. If you wouldn't mind telling me your first name and where you're watching from, because I really try and get to know everybody who's in my live chat so I could call you by name, because it's kind of weird to call people by their channel name. Sorry, I have something in my mouth, like hanging out on the back of my mouth. Pomona, Missouri. Pomona, what are you near? What would I know that you're near? That sounds familiar, but I'm not sure exactly where that is. So I'm near Ava. I'll tell you that. And then Becky said she's wondering how the girls are. So I will give a little quick update on my girls. I have, excuse me. I have girls who are 17 and 19 years old. Carter is my 17-year-old. She just graduated high school. She spent her summer working at a camp in Oklahoma. She was a lifeguard. She's in Florida right now with the youth worship band. And then she comes home Sunday, and she's here for a week, and then she starts college at Missouri SNT, which is a science and technology university. She's going to study aerospace engineering. So basically, I have a rocket scientist in the house. And I'm very proud of her. She earned enough scholarships this year to pay for her entire first year. It's going to cover her room, and I think she's just going to have to put in a little bit for her meal plan. So that's very exciting. And then Leslie is my 19-year-old, and she took a year off after high school, and she spent 3 months in Africa last year, and then this year, in June, she just started an internship at a church called International House of Prayer in Kansas City. They have what they call IHOP University, which is like a school of ministry. They offer 3 or 4 different areas of study, and she's doing their Fire in the Night internship. It's a year-long program where basically her job is to pray from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. That church has a 24-hour prayer room, and they staff it with worship leaders and people who are praying. And so she gets up at like 3 in the afternoon and then has dinner and then classes and then lunch and then classes, and then they go to prayer, and then they have a break for breakfast, and then they go back and pray, and then they go to bed at like 7 in the morning. And she is absolutely loving it. She's the happiest I have ever seen her, and I'm super proud of her and happy for her. She has had she had a hard time making friends when she was younger, and now to see her really full of life and lots of friends, and my mama's heart is very happy that she is having such a good time there. And she's finding all the fun, free things to do in Kansas City. So they went to a free jazz concert because they have 1 or 2 nights a week where they don't have class. And so she went to a free jazz concert. And then, where did she tell me they were the other night? Like, they found out if you go to the zoo after 5 on a Thursday, it's like $3, or, anything like that. So they're just finding all the fun stuff to do that's free. So it's been a really good experience for her. So I'm very happy about that too. So they're both doing well. And life has its challenges. Not everything is rosy. So I don't want to ever come across as smug or as, that I think my children are perfect, or that we have a perfect life or anything like that, because we don't. Our life has challenges. Every life has challenges. Your challenges are different than mine. But we do go through hardship. I don't know why I feel the need to explain that. I'm sure everybody understands that. But I am thankful when we are at a time in our life when things right now are going really well. A second, I have a tickle. Excuse me. Sorry. So I'm very thankful right now that both girls are at a really good place and having a really good time. Man, my text is like kept coming down in front of that. It probably didn't bother you guys because you didn't see it, but it bothered me. So that's the update on my girls. So thank you for asking. And Pomona's near West Plains. Okay, well, good. Welcome. I do. A cup of tea would be lovely right about now. How do you take your tea, Liz? With milk? I take my tea with milk and sugar, actually. Do you put your milk and sugar in the cup and then pour your tea on top? I've heard that's the proper way to do it. I usually don't, though. And I make my tea out of a tea bag. So Clever is on the other side of me. So Clever is just south of Springfield. Liz takes her tea, milk, no sugar. What's your favorite tea to drink, Liz? I like, what's that one that comes in the square box? It's a white and green box. Why can't I think of it? It has such a nice mild flavor. I love it. It's just a plain black tea. Oh, sorry, you're talking. I'm not looking at the screen. Oh, you do use a tea bag, and you put milk in last. What? What is the kind that I use? I can't think of it. Yes, PG Tips. I love PG Tips. I have a box of it at home. I could see it in my head. I just can't think of it. I like PG Tips. I also like English Breakfast. Those are probably my 2 favorite. All right. Well, I better get downstairs. I'm sure girls will be arriving and making noise anytime soon. I'm supposed to be there before they are. But it has been really nice spending this evening with you guys. Thank you for stopping by Ponderosa Homestead. Is that what it is? And Becky C. and everybody else. Becky, I think I may have met you, right? Or did I meet you at Baker Creek and your son? Because if you're the person I'm thinking of, they live in Clever too. And then look for Vlogust. Videos coming out every day. I'll try to do them at 5:15 p.m. if I can make that happen. I should be off to a good start because I'm not working the next 4 days. I'm going to be in Oklahoma with family. Good night, Diana and everybody else. Thank you to all my moderators. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. My moderators have been great, especially you, Liz, for all those links. I definitely owe you one. Have a great evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.